Hello and welcome back to Donna Gale Vlog. Today we are going to be talking about advice for any content creators out there, specifically 5 tips on becoming a content creator. Now this is not going to be 5 tips solely for anyone who hasn't started content creating or influencing yet. This could easily be any additional advice you want if you've already started content creating and you feel like you've just kind of hit a wall. So I kind of feel like the content creating and influencing sphere has grown a lot lately, in terms of people who just kind of look at content creating and influencing and think, oh, I can do that. The fact of the matter is that this job is actually very demanding, and it's not as simple as just posting a picture that you took that morning on a street corner that was candid and cute, or your breakfast that you ate that morning, and then all of a sudden you're getting brand promotions thrown at your face. Not gonna happen. Everyone kind of looks at content creating and influencing as one of those things that looks really easy from the outside, but I can guarantee you there is so much more work involved that you will be doing that you have no idea is going on. There is so much work going on behind the scenes that you don't see, and by the time they get to that picture that they post, you look at it and you're like, that looks so easy. And I can guarantee you it was not easy getting to that point. So just letting you know right now, if you are planning on trying to dip your toe into becoming an influencer, there's going to be a lot of work and a lot of time you spend that is going to be unpaid, and it's just going to be you trying to build a following first before you get brands coming into your DMs or emails asking to work with you. But if you're ready to start, let's get going. Number 1, and absolutely the most important, is taking good quality pictures. I can guarantee you right now there is no influencer out there that's crushing it using the Instagram filters or editing within the Instagram app. That being said, you need to either invest in a good quality phone camera or a good quality camera itself. I know tons of influencers who are literally just creating content by using their iPhones. That's totally fine. iPhones have some of the best cameras out there right this second. Me personally, I use my iPhone if it's a dire situation, but more often than not, I am using my Nikon DSLR. From there, taking the picture is literally not even half the journey, because the other half, and a little bit more, is going to be actually editing the picture. To edit my pictures, it is always Lightroom, first and foremost, and then if I want to add more onto it, it's either Photoshop, or if it's a little less of an edit, PixArt will work just fine. But PixArt is a great tool if you just want to add that little bit of flair to your pictures, just to add some sparkles or some flowers, whatever the case may be. I've used it tons of time to add sparkles or even like a background on a picture I already have. So it is a great free tool, but for more intense stuff, I do use Photoshop to make some of my more insane edits. After you got that, number 2 is to start building your following. Again, sounds like a no-brainer, but you're gonna need followers and you're gonna need advocates for your brand to be able to start working with companies. I will say this though, a lot of companies are going to focus more on the actual engagement of your following and not the amount of followers you have. So you can go to anyone's page and see just how many followers they have, but if you look at their pictures and they're only getting 27 likes, but they have 10,000 followers, a brand is not going to want to work with someone with that low of engagement, because that screams sketchy. I've seen plenty of influencers with maybe like 3,000 to 5,000 followers, but then get like 800 likes per picture, and they're the ones that are getting the brand deals because they have a very engaged audience. For me personally, I currently have a little over 18,000 followers, and I get roughly around 400 likes per picture. I am working on my engagement right now to get it a little bit higher. In terms of consistency, it's around 400 to 600 likes for me. Number 3, after you feel confident enough in your following and your pictures, you're gonna wanna start downloading some influencer apps. These are gonna be how you start getting those first brand deals with people, even if it is just to get free products and getting your name out there. Having an app on your phone makes it super easy to just check it at random points in the day just to see if any other active campaigns have come up. The 3 that I've downloaded in the past were Collaborate, Tribe, and Heartbeat, and I will go over each one of those individually. Collaborate was great because there was a ton of campaigns on it. However, it is very easy for someone to just throw a campaign up there with no intention of following through on it. So I did find a lot of like spammy campaigns that had nothing to do with anything. The other thing is, more often than not, the campaigns I found on Collaborate were solely based on free products. Now that is totally fine if you want to start getting free products to advertise, because that's still going to get your name out there and it's going to get you possibly reposted on these other people's pages. For me personally, when I was going through the app, I found it kind of discouraging trying to work with people and all they would offer me was free product, because at the point I'm at right now, I'm past the free product stage, and more often than not, I do want to work for a paid promotion. The second one was Tribe, and I hated Tribe. The reasons I did not vibe with this app at all is because there was very few campaigns, and also they wanted content up front. So an example of a campaign you would be able to see on the Tribe app would be, let's say they wanted a campaign for certain pair of shoes. Now, it's assuming you already have that pair of shoes to start working with their brand. So let's just say that you happen to have this brand of shoes and you go out and you want to start taking your content. Well, they want to work within certain parameters of the content. They kind of give you directions on what they expect out of the campaign, which is a very common thing you're going to see when working with brands. They are going to give you a direction they want to go in. So you go out there with your pair of shoes, you go within the parameters they've set, you take really good content, and then you submit it on Tribe. Now, if that company chooses to accept your content, then you're in. But you can see for influencers working a long time on the content they create, submitting it and getting denied. Now you've put in all that effort to work with this company and they didn't want to work with you. So I didn't like the fact that all of the content that I would end up submitting for them had to be upfront, and I already had to have the product to be able to submit campaigns with them. So after about 2 weeks, 3 weeks of kind of being on the app and feeling it out, I just deleted it. I didn't even do a campaign with them. The last one I did was Heartbeat, and this was my favorite up until about a month ago. Heartbeat is great if you want to start getting paid for the campaigns you put out there. More often than not, all the campaigns I found on the app were paid. Very, very few were just free products. They say that your pay rate is based on your engagement, but I found that not to be true, because I've been working very, very hard to increase my overall engagement. But 2 months ago, my rate actually lowered. So I think it's more based on the engagement you get from the campaigns itself and not your overall feed, even though they say it's your overall feed. So I was able to get around $500 out of working with Heartbeat campaigns, but I was only getting $25 a campaign. $25 is $25, that's great. But again, when you have the amount of following and engagement I have, $25 is kind of an insult, especially when they lower you to $20 because your engagement wasn't good, which is a lie. Also, I have learned to not really like this app because they asked so much of their campaign content creators. I found many times that I was either like trying to work really hard on getting the perfect location, the perfect outfit, the perfect setting, spending all this time editing a picture either in Lightroom or Photoshop to make it a really cool edit, and I would only get $25. Again, that's still money in your pocket, but if you're trying to work harder on your content and you're not getting paid the amount you should be getting paid, it's kind of an insult. Especially for someone like me, I'm getting to the point right now that I should be getting paid around $100 per post on Instagram. And when I was at $25 on Heartbeat and they lowered me to $20, that's not an incentive for me to try and continue working with that app. But it's still a foot in the door. It's a foot in the door with working with brands you've never worked with before. It's a foot in the door with actually getting paid for what you're promoting. Just don't expect a whole lot of payment from them. Number 4, after you start getting some steam working with brands, people start noticing you a little bit more, your following is getting super engaged, now you want to start making money using commission links. And that's where reward style comes in. So you've probably heard about it in this sphere before. Reward style, Like to Know It, it's all the same thing. Like to Know It is the app where these influencers post on, but reward style is kind of like the behind the scenes of the app itself, getting the commission links and then posting on reward style, and that links to Like to Know It. Like to Know It is an app anyone can download, and anyone can view the products on. But the only way to post on Like to Know It is to be a verified influencer through reward style. So the only people posting on Like to Know It are people who have already been approved by reward style to post on the app. But it's also great because then you can also use those links you get through reward style to post on your Instagram, your Facebook, whatever you're posting on. This is helpful because even if you don't make a lot of money on the app, you can still use your following other places and post links onto your stories or in your bio, and you can still get money from the app using those commission links. It's also pretty awesome because the link you put out, if someone clicks that link, it does leave a cookie on that browser for X amount of time, varies by advertiser. And then even if they buy that item, or maybe they don't buy that item, maybe they buy 10 items that weren't the item that originally led them to the site, you will get commission on the entire cart someone purchases, not just what you link. However, the only downside about reward style is it does take a long time to gain steam on gaining followers within the app. So you're gonna wanna try and use the followers you've already gained to follow you on Like to Know It. The other downside is the only way to get into reward style right now, because the market is so saturated with content creators and influencers, is having a referral from someone who's already using reward style. Lucky for you, I am a verified influencer on reward style, so if you are thinking about taking that next step in content creating, send me an email at this email below with the header reward style referral, and I will help you get a referral for reward style so you can start monetizing your content. Last but not least, and this one's the scariest one, is actually just emailing the companies yourself. Now this one only sounds scary because you're the one making the first move. The easiest thing that I've found to do is go onto their website and see if they have a certain email for talent or influencers or content creators to email them at. Lots of businesses have this now. If you don't seem to find one that is specifically for content creating or marketing, try DMing them. This one I have found to be very effective because the people usually in charge of marketing and social media and influencer stuff are the ones that are handling the social media apps. So when they see your message, they're inclined to give you the correct direction you need to go in. What you want to DM them is something along the lines of, hey, company, I was interested in collaborating with you. Is there an email I can send this inquiry to? That is short, simple, to the point. It puts you on their map as someone who wants to collaborate, someone who wants to do a partnership, someone who wants to work with them, and it gives them the door to give you an email to contact, because you are not going to want to try and pitch yourself all in that tiny little DM area. And also, a company as big as the one you might want to be working with maybe doesn't monitor their DMs every single day, or they're getting a lot of DMs and yours is just going to get lost as soon as you try and pitch yourself. So asking for that email is going to allow you to talk off Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Overall, I know it's a very anxious and stressful situation trying to pitch yourself to a company you really want to work with, but I promise you it'll be beneficial to you to be able to take that last step. More often than not, when I talk to other influencers or content creators, they always talk about how most often they got into this sphere of being paid in their content by contacting the companies themselves. So let's review. The 5 things are taking good quality pictures, building a following, download some influencer apps, or get started on influencer websites. Those ones are really common too. 4, get started on reward style. And again, email me with the subject line referral for reward style, something along those lines, and I will send you a referral if you want to get started on reward style. And finally, start emailing those companies yourself. These are very basic tips, but I promise you this is the foundation to start monetizing your content and building yourself up as a content creator. And trust me, it's going to take a long time to do even the first 2 steps. But by the time you get to 3, 4, and even 5, it's going to be worth it, even if it takes a year or so. But don't expect it to change overnight at all. There are going to be months or even a solid year where you don't get paid at all because you're specifically trying to work yourself up to that point. I don't want to discourage anyone from being a content creator or an influencer ever, but I just want to be realistic with you because a lot of people do still believe this job is as easy as snapping a picture and posting it and getting free stuff. So I really hope you found value in all of this. Hopefully this gives you a leg up on everyone else trying to become a content creator or an influencer so that you can use these tools to further your career a lot faster. Thank you for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more magic, style, or advice on creating content. I'll see you next time.